After a big weekend of racing for the team last weekend, which saw the stable take out the two-year-old features on the card, thanks to Prost in the Group 3 Canonbury Stakes and Lady of Camelot in the Group 3 Widden Stakes, we turn our attention to Randwick this weekend, where we have two live chances in the $2 million Inglis Millennium, Fully Lit and Trunk. Fully Lit gave us all a huge thrill when pulling clear of the field to win in decisive fashion at Rosehill Gardens 3 weeks ago. His sectionals were fantastic, and the form of that race is already working out well, with second-placed King of Roseau finishing a close fourth at Group 3 level 7 days ago. He jumps from barrier 17 with Regan Bayliss in the saddle for Red Fox Racing.
Fully Lit's in great shape. Really can't fault him since his first up victory, and he couldn't have been more impressive on that occasion. Showed good sustained speed all the way throughout and quickened up very smartly. So hoping to see a very similar type of performance from him on this occasion. As I said, he's done particularly well, trained on nicely. Jumps from a tricky gate, but I think he's got the tactical speed to be able to offset that and certainly look to roll forward and I think he'll take some catching.
Trunk ran a super race in his debut at Geelong last month and has been training nicely ahead of this intended assignment. We were extremely pleased with his trial between runs and he looks terrific. He is open to plenty of improvement second up.
Trunk, I think, is a nice, promising horse for us going forward. It was a very encouraging debut from him in Melbourne. I think that form is well and truly going to stand up going to this particular race. He's got a lovely soft draw. I think he's going to get the run of the race there, which we'll see him being very strong late. Certainly going to be hard to hold out. It would create a nice, interesting match-up, and he certainly looks well placed here.
Anode is delighting us ahead of his reappearance in the listed Lonhro Plate. He improved markedly from his first to second trial and looks terrific. These trials have given him a good level of fitness and he appears to have taken another step forward in his track work since.
Anode was terrific on debut for us at the same track going back in December. So really hope he's ready to produce a very similar performance here. He's stepping up in grade. He's first up off a quick freshen up, but he's had two nice trials to have him nice and forward. Looks very well. No doubt that experience would be a great benefit, great asset to him. Wide draw to overcome, but he's got some nice tactical speed, so I expect him to be very effective once again.
The 300 improved significantly from his first to second trial and looks super ahead of the Lonhro Plate. These trials have given him a good level of fitness and he is sharper and tighter in condition. Are you happy with how he's coming along?
The 300 is much better than what we saw from him last preparation. Things didn't necessarily go his way, and I think he's come back a much better horse this time round. Latest trial is very good. He trialled behind Anode, but he covered plenty of ground in that trial and found the line very strongly. So looking forward to seeing some nice improvement from him. He's a horse that's only going to continue to improve throughout the campaign, particularly as we can see him get over a little bit further.
Omni-Man looks fantastic ahead of his return on Saturday in the benchmark 94 handicap over 1,000 metres. He was brilliant last preparation, securing 4 wins at Metro level and is nicely muscled ahead of this intended start.
Omni-Man's resuming off a couple of nice sharp trials. Been very pleased with the way in which he's coming up this campaign. He was excellent last preparation, very consistent. Went through his grades nicely, so he proved to be a very, very talented sprinter for us. 1,000 metres fresh seemed to be his go, so expecting a nice performance from him first up.
How Good Are You is in great order ahead of the benchmark 78 handicap over 1,300 metres. She drops down in grade here and Amy's 2 kilo claim could prove to be a big advantage.
How Good Are You is racing first up this preparation, showed nice progress in a previous campaign, went through her grades well. She's a filly or mare that's going to continue to improve as she gets out over further later in her campaign. So being first up over this trip that's short of her best, she may find them a little bit sharp at this grade, but I do think there's plenty of nice progression to see from her this time in.
Vinnie Spirit is the stable's sole runner at Caulfield on Saturday in the benchmark 70 handicap over 1,600 metres, and we were all delighted to see him get back into the winner's circle on his last start at Sandown. He truly deserved to get that much-deserved win this preparation, and he hasn't missed a beat since.
I thought Vinnie Spirit was rewarded for his consistency last start. He put in a nice, strong victory at Sandown. I think he'll take some nice improvement on that, but I thought it was very encouraging in his first attempt, the Melbourne way of going. Stepping up slightly in grade here, remains at the trip. Expect him to be obviously nice and fit and strong at this point in his preparation, and expect him to take some nice confidence off the back of that recent win.
Very Surreal is delighting us ahead of the listed Strut Stakes at Hobart. She has settled in very well to Gary and Belinda White's stable, and we have been extremely happy with her since her arrival. She was a determined winner in her last start at Moonee Valley 2 weeks ago, and we are hopeful she can continue her wonderful run of form this preparation on Sunday.
It looks to be a lovely race for Very Surreal. She's put together some really nice performances since being in Melbourne, travelling to Tasmania here, stepping right out in trip, which is what we've been looking for her entire preparation. She excelled once we got her out in trip to the mile, and I think she's only going to continue to improve as we see her over this trip here. Some important stakes, placement on the line here, that would certainly add to her value. So a really important race for her, but one she looks well placed in.